this is the Dale Jackson way of doing Ikebana. I showed you very quickly how to do a thing that can take hours to do. And when you're learning it, it can take a year or more to perfect this and get it right. When I was learning, we learnt in silence. If we got a stem that was out of place, then the teacher would just put two little crosses with a bit of stem by the side of it. You know, she'd have two stems and she'd just go a little cross like that by your arrangement, and that meant you've not got it right. So you had to sit there and contemplate for another half an hour while you found out that this branch maybe just needed adjusting an inch this way or an inch that way, or so something on the angle wasn't right. So you were never told. You had to find the mistake and get the balance and the harmony right yourself. And then when she came round again, she would just remove the little cross and say, right, you've got it right now. You can move on to the next one in the book, which might be the hanging style, nagiri, or the divided style. So there were different styles that you could do, all based on this heaven, man and earth. To show a quick version now using green foam, which is a florist product, Oasis, and you soak it in water and you get it saturated, and then your flowers will live in that. And it's very, very much more easier than a kenzan from the Japanese equipment. So this is because I'm showing people this, the Dale Jackson way, which is not strictly kosher when it comes, not strictly at all when it comes to the Japanese principles. But I prepared my little dish now. I prepared with a bit of green foam, some tomai, which in this case are ivy leaves, and I'm going to use a lovely chrysanthemum, which is a Japanese flower, of course, and we're going to try and get a nice kind of venture out of this. Now I'm going to cut this flower halfway down the stem so that I've got the stem and some buds. So I'm going to cut it about there at an angle of 45 degrees, and you'll see what happens. So now we've got a long flower and a short one out of one stem. And this flower, this one is going to be for my proportion. So this side up, you have to go twice the width and twice the height, which is going to be, so that's roughly quite easily got. This is for the size of this particular bowl that I've got this foam in. And then we want to go, I'll do it towards me first, so I'm going to go, shin is centre back within 10 degrees. So that's the shin branch within this small plane of existence, so that anything to do with shin comes on there. And then the 45-degree angle, which is this plane here. And then the low one, which is man and earth. So for the 45-degree angle, I'm going to use something else. Oh, changed my mind. I'm going to use drinking straws. Now, ordinary drinking straws. Now, if you want plant material to do this, you can get the reeds off the moors. If you live near heathland or moorland, you can get the little reeds that grow in the marshes there, with a little tufty bit on the side. And what you do is you put the thin end of the reed into the thick end of the next reed, and you can do it with straws by threading the straws together. Whoops. You see why you need a lot of patience to do this. You thread it together. Whoops. And you thread 2 or 3 straws like this together. And then you're going to fold it into a triangle. See, I should have rehearsed all this, Chris. It's quite hard to do, but we're getting there. Another red one. And you'll see why I need it so long in a minute, because I've got to bend this into a triangle. I'm going to do it within the shin dimensions, I think. Or maybe the sewy. Let's do sewy, I think. Right, now we get this piece here and bend the straws about there and there. We've got a triangle, and then I'm going to put this in the position of sewy. I'm going to put that there. So we've got, that's the 45-degree angle into the base, and a triangle with a 45-degree angle at the base. And then I'm going to put this in. We're going to put some other triangles in, but this is now going to be shin, sewy, heaven, man. This is earth, and I'm going to take a couple of these off, cut this at 45 degrees, oops, take that off, cut that off. This is half this dimension, and that's going to go low down at the front there. Now these can go in separately around it in the low down dimension. Now put it to that side and then you can see it. That's where we're getting. Now I'm going to put some more triangles in, if I can just do these quite quickly to bring this to life now. So it's just simply these 3 stems, a few leaves to cover the base, and in this case a few straws, and you're going to have the most beautiful contemporary arrangement, and yet with precise measurements. And this angle will go in below shin, on the shin angle, if I can get it long enough. When I learnt to do this, of course, this is why it takes so long, because you've got weeks to do it in. You have to go each lesson and stay with the same arrangement until you've actually perfected it, and then you can go on to the next arrangement when the teacher's decided you're good enough. Now I'm just going to make a narrower top on that one, bring it down like that and put that in the shin area, and with a bit of luck we can do another one, a small one, to go inside the area. Maybe do that there, and do that for man. And see, with the green foam it is so much easier to do. Now there you go. Just put that there on your stand, and you've got your beautiful heaven, man and earth arrangement in a contemporary style, done quite quickly, and I hope you can kind of try that at home.